This year, we have been waking up to the news of a growing threat.
A real national security risk.
Japan's ruling Liberal Democratic Party will urge the government to take legislative steps to...
A growing global threat.
The government in Indonesia is concerned about all...
Following India's ban, looking to implement tighter controls...
It now faces calls for it to be banned in Australia as the platform prepares to front...
No, I'm not talking about global warming. Nope, not the pandemic either. This is our sinister new baddie. Yep, TikTok. It's so worrying. Indonesia, India, America, Japan, Australia, all of them have tried to get this addictive short-form video app banned.
TikTok is used by millions of Americans.
Allegations that they're being used to spy on users.
Mr. Trump has accused TikTok of being part of disinformation campaigns that benefit China.
So all of these sorts of theories, they're conspiracy theories, and TikTok or any other social app in the modern era have other real issues that are happening in the here and now, and the platforms are trying to deal with.
So what should we really be worried about?
The boundaries that we let go when we interact with TikTok are far more intimate.
People will do what they want.
In 2016, a team from a Chinese internet company called ByteDance took just 200 days to develop and launch a video sharing app. In 2017, a boy named Jaden was born in Texas, USA. Trust me, this is relevant. In 2018, TikTok officially became available worldwide. It took just 1 year for TikTok to start outperforming giants like Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube in downloads that year for 2019. And at the start of 2020, this happens. This is the baffling rise of TikTok.
The reason why TikTok has been so successful, I think, is partly down to timing. We're going through this period where there's a backlash against social media and the way that some of these platforms work. And TikTok is just like a breath of fresh air. It's different from everything else we're seeing, and it's particularly different from the more polished aesthetics we see in platforms such as Instagram. I think it may be as simple as that. It's a lot of fun, it's short, and it's snappy.
All my friends said, you have to get it.
Yes, I make TikTok videos.
1 or 2 really embarrassing dance videos that I wish no one would ever see.
It was fun, but we were just really bored.
I think it's more like to kill time.
Kill time, you say? Well, nothing like a killer virus like COVID-19 to turn a time killer into our new hero.
Hey, yo, I look kind of cute until I reveal my forehead check.
TikTok's simple and addictive premise propelled it to become the most downloaded app in the world in the first quarter of 2020. That was when countries started going into lockdown. And it wasn't just teenagers getting in on it. Entire families from toddlers to grannies jumped on board.
It's like, don't want lah. They say, no, just do for fun.
I'm very lazy.
She's not like the type of person to like, no, let's do this, let's do that.
I was just entertained. That's why I asked him to teach.
You can play the music and then record yourself at the same time. Instagram doesn't do that.
So TikTok is like more movement, like FB and Instagram are just pictures.
We can't dance outside or like exercise freely.
I think it like at least give us something to do because he wasn't working.
I just want to be part of the group, like dancing.
TikTok was downloaded more than 119 million times globally in the month of March 2020. That is a 16% jump from the month before. So I'm not surprised that even a serious agency like the World Health Organization started their own TikTok account.
When coughing and sneezing, cover your mouth and nose with the elbow like this.
So far, people's experience with TikTok seems nothing but fun. Almost annoyingly positive. I mean, heck, TikTok even got the famously surly chef Gordon Ramsay to take a pie to the face. So here's where the story gets a little bit weird. TikTok has captured the masses, but when it came to attention from the bigwigs, especially one bigwig.
Yeah, TikTok is moving along. We'll see what happens. It'll either be closed up or they'll sell it.
Over the last year, it attracted particular attention because of its Chinese parent company. The accusation against TikTok is that its data might be shared with its Chinese parent and then ultimately with the Chinese state. TikTok denies this. They say that they've never shared any data with China's government.
Okay, here's where we need a short refresher on social media and data collection.
There are people who are really comfortable with sharing their information on social networks and some who are not. And I belong to the second category. And
This is David. He built Symphony, one of the very few social networking apps that absolutely does not keep any data about you. But it's a different story when it comes to apps like TikTok. They need your data.
They cannot finance their operations and make money without collecting your data. That's the reason of their existence. It's the model of TikTok, it's the model of Facebook, it's the model of LinkedIn. When you do a Google search, Google will take your data and use that data to sell you advertisement. There is the data, which is your name, your username, your handle, your email address, your phone number. But what's even more important is your behavior. What you are watching, what you are searching, what keywords you are searching, what type of video you are sharing, tell a lot about you. And that information, we call this the metadata, is kept.
Okay, back to the families who used TikTok to make the lockdown more bearable. When you see them on TikTok, they're doing this.
We are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start.
But that's just a tiny fraction of what they do on TikTok. Most of the time, the TikTok experience looks more like this. And this is the part that apparently has governments around the world worried. Every swipe, every search, every share you make is data collected on you.
Any sovereign country has an obligation to protect its citizens. The access to this information is as important as if somebody comes to your country and conducts malicious acts.
It's just so easy to just keep scrolling.
It's because it's very addictive.
Every day, maybe an hour or two.
Maybe like 3.
Just looking at other people's videos.
Some of my friends, when I ask them, why do you look so sleepy? Then they will be like, I was watching TikTok last night.
It's simple. There's no thought process involved, and you can scroll through a bunch of videos that are tailored to you.
This is TikTok's special sauce, a recommendation algorithm that's just eerily good at knowing what you like. So you just can't stop watching. Of course, recommendation algorithms are nothing new. They are also used on YouTube and Netflix to recommend what to watch next. But I'm sure you'd all relate to this meme.
I do not think that TikTok has actually a better algorithm versus Netflix or YouTube. The boundaries that we let go when we interact with TikTok are far more intimate to us than what we do on Netflix or on YouTube.
We go on TikTok when we want to turn off our brains for a quick distraction. So we're happy to let the algorithm do all the work, even if we know it takes our data to do its job. So, can TikTok guess what you like as well as your own family can? I mean, people who've known you your entire life. To test that out, we will get these family members to swap their TikTok accounts with one another. Mother and son, brother and sister. But before they even touch each other's phones, they have to first write down what they know to be each other's interests.
K-pop.
Fortnite.
Fortnite is a game.
Fitness. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Then we see if TikTok can nail it too.
Yeah. Accurate. Oh, fitness! Oh my god! This is comedy. So which is, I think, yeah, which is him. What is this? Oh, this is a dog. Okay.
Fortnite.
Wow.
That is the most obvious thing in my head.
So far, TikTok is neck and neck with the humans. But soon, it becomes obvious that TikTok is even more intimately familiar with what each person likes.
I forgot about food. He likes to try new recipes.
Basketball! I tell you, it's the obvious. How could you miss? How could? Maybe I was too nervous.
I mean, like, maybe because we don't see basketball videos on TikTok usually.
Yeah.
I mean, for our feed.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's your favorite. Indomie. Specific. This.
I do buy the packets of Indomie. Oh my god.
Is this like at midnight?
This politics, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that he's got interest in politics of other countries. I usually thought that he's not the serious kind.
It's shocking that the app knows her as well as I sort of know her. So that's interesting.
Scary.
Scary, actually. Yes.
Hey, wait, hold up. We've been told umpteen times that social media is taking our data. And so far it hasn't fazed us. So why should it faze us now?
Do I think it's likely in the next 6 to 12 to 18 months that's going to cause a very serious negative impact on a lot of people's lives?
Well, to start with, TikTok might have already caused a huge embarrassment to one of the world's most powerful people. Let's examine the top 10 most watched videos to come out of TikTok in 2019. Largely funny and pretty pointless.
Wait. One second. Okay, whoa.
So, what is it that made these videos go viral? Hey, I have a question. When did we see our first viral video? I'll give you 3 seconds. YouTube? Well, in its 15 years of existence, it has given us classics like Charlie Bit Me. Oh, Charlie. Chocolate Rain. I'm sorry, I can't sing. And I'm sure most of you guessed that. But no, go further back. Here's a fun fact for you. Boomers were already exchanging videos on dial-up internet. Never mind that it took forever to download, only to see this. Very bizarre, isn't it? But it's still not the earliest example. Keep going back. Yes, even before the internet became a thing. That's right, we humans always had the urge to share videos. Even without the help of the internet, we simply passed around physical tapes. Now, there is a point to all of this. It appears the kind of things that appeal to us and go viral don't seem to change very much over the years. They're usually funny and mostly harmless. But that's exactly how TikTok gained worldwide appeal. This meme and music-based video app transcends geocultural borders to conquer the world, and it starts from the little ways.
Hello, it is Joaquin Gomez from 987 here in our studio. Say what you want about it, TikTok. If it wasn't for its popularity on the app, who knows, we might or might not even be playing these songs here on 987. I'm pretty sure I did the dance wrongly. This one by George685 and Jason Derulo, there is no denying how viral this song went. Savage Love.
Savage love. Did somebody break your heart? Looking like an angel, but you're savage love.
That's how I do that dance move. So there you go. All the songs made popular by TikTok, and here's giving you a bonus one.
I'm a savage. Classy, bougie, ratchet.
On TikTok, I think music discovery is often tied into trends. A trend is somebody just does something and someone goes, hey, I kind of like that, I want to try doing this as well. And it just spreads.
M to the B, it's M to the B, it's M to the B, it's M to the B, bang.
Some of these trends or challenges contains music or songs, and even now, singers and musicians, they are embracing TikTok. They're coming up with TikTok challenges for their very own songs, like Jasmine Soko, for example.
Less is less.
Trends have been around for a very long time. I mean, before even TikTok, there were Twitter trends and Instagram trends, which all you had to do was take a picture and post it up, it's there. And now on TikTok, it has leveled up. People are doing videos, people are trying things out with TikTok, with the editing effects and all that.
Part of the fun of TikTok is taking part in trends. They're often easy to replicate, yet impressive to look at.
Wipe it down.
And there is a new eye-catching trend to parrot almost every day.
Say hello.
Hello.
Good boy.
The reason we parrot each other and get behind these trends is not unlike why actual parrots try to mimic humans.
Good boy. They will mimic the words that I always say to them to draw my attention from them. They want to have a friend, they want to have a company, they want to have a playmate. So actually, parrot is just like a small little kid. So they need a lot of attention.
You want to do as many videos, you want to do as many things to show that you're cool, to show that, you know, you are worth talking about among your friends, among your school, among your culture. So yeah, it has definitely sped up how easy it is for people to jump on trends.
But can jumping on trends affect us in bigger ways than just song and dance? Well, it may have been responsible for this historic moment, Trump's walk of shame. After a dismal turnout of just 6,200 people at his comeback rally in Tulsa, June 20th, 2020. Just days before, he had boasted almost 1 million people registered. So it was really a huge embarrassment for Trump to see this many empty seats at the rally. The twist in the story? TikTokers claimed credit for the sabotage. It turns out that there was a trend on TikTok to reserve 2 tickets to Trump's rally with no intention of showing up.
Oh my god, I just registered for Trump's rally and I'm so excited to not go. Now I can't go because my dog's goldfish's funeral is that day.
So that means there's gonna be at least 2 empty spots. Guys, that's awful.
Why are they banning the app? Because Gen Z is using TikTok as a platform to organize the masses and prank Donald Trump. Repeatedly. It's a bad look for him. The more you know.
Okay, so I don't really buy that story. I think the concern was much more that potentially China or potentially Russia, sort of malign actors outside of the country, could use the app to interfere with American democracy.
So while the debate is still on for why the US is really banning TikTok, What we do know is that if you can start a TikTok trend, you can move people all over the world to do something. So, here's my question for you. Who in Singapore would be most likely to go viral on TikTok and start a trend? A. A popular singer and heartthrob. B. An influencer with so much influence it bought her a Lamborghini? C. A veteran actress from Channel 8? Or D. The folks from local funny page, Asgag? The answer is E. Trick question. The correct answer is someone you probably never heard of. Cedric Ng, aka Daddy Ming, is really a middle-aged man of average height, average weight, and like most retirees, his hobby is gardening. What is his biggest project so far? To get his tree to be mushroom-shaped. Yes, he's really invested. But when he was trapped at home with his son during circuit breaker, he found himself with more time than he could spend on his garden. Enter the ultimate time killer app.
Okay, so later the first one will be just hit the thing. So you want to show egg in the thing. So just hit. So you stick it in. Then after you point there, then you to the camera.
This is to support my son, which is doing the TikTok. When I say yes only, within minutes, he already set up the account. And then he give me no time to reject him after that. Then quickly take a photograph at the back of the backyard. Yeah. And then he quickly said account set up already.
Yeah.
That was
within like less than 10 minutes. Everything.
Less than 10 minutes.
He may be the last person you'd imagine to be a viral star, but in just 23 days, he hit 1 million followers.
When we posted the video, there's a few hundred people. There's a quite supportive messages like thank you for the videos, and some people which are stressed at work, they'll say, hey, thanks for making like the day happier.
But how did ordinary Daddy Ming get seen by millions all over the world in such a short time? Well, the way TikTok exposes you to content is different from how social media used to do it.
I think increasingly people are worried about these things called filter bubbles, or that they're trapped in these information silos where they don't get to see alternative viewpoints. You'll find that with other apps such as Facebook, that the feed is focused far more on friends and family, whereas TikTok is more focused on the content a user wants to see and the content that's going to interest them the most, irrespective of who posted it. It doesn't matter if the creator is a president or a celebrity, a brand, a student, or even a school.
TikTok has somehow managed to subvert the high school logic of popularity. That is, you need to be good-looking, rich, or have lots of friends to be seen. In fact, social marketers have often touted TikTok as the anti-Instagram. Let's take a look at how different types of content have taken off on Instagram versus TikTok. Hashtag pretty girls at 8.1 million posts. Hashtag luxury lifestyle, 29.4 million posts. Yup, that's Instagram envy for you. And then let's pick something that could have gotten you bullied at school, like being an amputee. Yup, we're not mincing our words here. And unsurprisingly, it comes in at a meager 469,000 posts. And now let's look at the same tags on TikTok. Here's a caveat though. Instead of the number of posts, TikTok measures the popularity of its hashtags in the number of views. Hashtag pretty girls and luxury lifestyle show, well, pretty similar traction. And hashtag amputee comes up to, wait for it, 1.4 billion views. I wonder why.
I lost my left leg in a car accident in 2011.
I had a little wound, and that causes infection and it leads to gangrene on my right leg.
I thought I had a common cold. I ended up like this. I don't actually know why hashtag amputee is so popular on TikTok, but internet is a pretty weird place.
These amputees have bravely volunteered to react to some of the most watched TikTok videos with the hashtag amputee. Honestly, I feel a little bit concerned.
Eye of the
sarcoma cancer.
Yeah, I don't like it. They should be more sensitive in posting these type of videos to the world. Because sometimes like children may see it lah.
It's very real because, you know, it's her wound, she's recovering.
If the intention is really just to be graphic and get attention, then I don't quite agree with that lah.
Can I have it back?
Thanks, can I have it back? Oh, okay.
Thanks. Can I have it back?
I think these people are quite young, right? So I think in a way maybe TikTok is good that it kind of helps them to release their angst.
It is probably not the kind of content that the platform is intended for, but people will do what they want, and you know there's really like no stopping them. So this lady actually doesn't have the middle finger on either of her hands, so she can't flip people off, and I'm actually the exact same way, so I actually don't have any of my middle fingers either.
If it helps to get people used to the idea of seeing the disabled, I think that is useful.
Love or hate what you're seeing, the power to go viral is in the hands of everyone, even the underdogs. But what if I told you that it is actually a scarily powerful thing? It might even have changed an entire country. And no, I'm not talking about a tiny Caribbean island nation, but one of the most populous countries in the world. India. Have you noticed you're seeing more and more of these cute videos of villages from somewhere in India? These rural folks are finally getting in on the social media revolution.
Smartphones have become so cheap that everybody is able to afford it. Second thing is the broadband, the internet. You know, the penetration is quite deep in India. In fact, India is one place where the data is like amongst the cheapest in the world.
In the year 2020, India officially has more internet users from its rural regions than its urban areas. And TikTok came at just the right time to woo this massive pool of users.
TikTok के फीचर्स बहुत अच्छे थे, जो कि एक साधारण जो मतलब खेती करते हैं या जो पढ़े नहीं हैं, उनको भी समझ में आ जाता था वो। मेरा नाम महेश सत्वापक से है। मैं बुल्ढाना महाराष्ट्र में बुल्ढाना डिस्ट्रिक्ट लोनार तालुका और लोनार के पास वेनी गांव है हमारा, जहाँ पे मेरा जन्म हुआ था और वहीं पे मेरा बचपन गुजरा है।
Just to give you a sense of how out of the way his village is, imagine you just got to Mumbai for a holiday. To visit Mahesh, you would have to drive 11 hours from the city to the middle of nowhere. It's so forgotten, this village has seen barely any economic development in decades. And this is the town where Mahesh, 23 years old, was born and raised.
तू समजलं ना शेतीत कसं काम करायला लागते म्हणून या शेतीत काही शेतीचं काही खरं नाही आता सोयाबीन सध्या सोयाबीनचं काहीच खरं नाही किती लोकांकडून पैसे आणून दिले पण कोणा संग वाद नाही काय नाही आता जसं महेशनं हे केलं
जाऊ द्या
तसं तू भी काही काही
हमारे गांव के भी बहुत सारे लोगों ने मेरा भाई फेमस हो गया इसके कारण टिकटॉक ज्वाइन किया टिकटॉक इंस्टॉल किया अपने मोबाइल में
That's right. These days, going viral on TikTok has become a well-paying alternative to working the farms for India's rural communities. These are Mahesh's videos. This is the most watched one with over 71 million views. His speed painting skill is so one of a kind. Indian stars and international cricket players send him their personal reactions via TikTok. As a villager from a remote area, he almost went undiscovered. But on TikTok, he gained 1.3 million fans in just a month, and also an income that is almost 4 times what his family earns from farming.
आता त्याला अजून बी काही काही कोणी पेंटिंग बनवून घेते, कोणाचा वाढदिवस असला ना की कोणी ते त्याच्याकडून बनवून घेतो, व्हिडिओ बनवून घेतात काही लोक. 2000 रुपये दे, कोणी 5000 रुपये बी देऊ शकते. लोक सांगायचे बघा तुम्ही म्हणत आपलाच मुलगा आहे, त्याला खरं पटत नसे ते.
गैस लिया है जो टिकटॉक से मुझे पैसे मिले थे. पहले घर वालों को मतलब इस सिगड़ी पे बनाने के लिए थोड़ी ज़्यादा दिक्कत होती थी क्योंकि वो एक ही थी, और जब ये हमने लिया तो यहाँ पे उनको बहुत आसानी होती है उस पे बनाने में, और 2 अच्छे से बर्नर है उसके, तो अच्छा है वो.
Influencer marketing platform Zefmo Media says about 1 million TikTok users depend on the platform to make money. Other apps don't yet offer the revenue that TikTok does.
TikTok made possible something that no other internet giant did. Not Facebook, not Instagram, not even Google. TikTok allowed India's rural poor to make a living as internet celebrities. In fact, with at least 200 million active users, India became TikTok's largest overseas market.
The rural people, they loved it. They had never experienced something like how many people are following me, how many likes I have and all. That gave them that rush. Come on, let's do it more. And that's where I also sensed the danger.
Okay, shall I start? There was a social influencer on TikTok, Riaz Ali, and he's got millions of followers on that. He made a video exactly on the date of 1st April, and it was stating that कि कोरोना वायरस इंडिया से चला गया है और हम लोग पहले जैसा घूम सकते हैं.
व्हाट्सएप सो अभी एक नई न्यूज़ आई है कि कल से हम लोग घर के बाहर निकल सकते हैं, हम लोग घूम सकते हैं, कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, पहले जैसी जिंदगी जी सकते हैं. कोरोना वायरस भाग चुका है इंडिया से. एंड गाइस, कल 1 अप्रैल है. हैप्पी अप्रैल.
In the pandemic situation where people were sitting inside and they were not even allowed to move on the streets, this particular TikToker, he's coming out of his gate, touching the road, and provoking people, innumerable people to do the same.
Mohsin usually covers COVID-19 related updates, so viewers have the right information to stay safe. This includes conveying lockdown rules like staying indoors or wearing masks when you're going outside. But he soon realizes that miscreants on TikTok are sabotaging his mission.
हम लोग को पुलिस वाले नहीं मारते, सेलिब्रिटी है हम, सेलिब्रिटी को पुलिस नहीं मारती है.
They are going viral by showing off how they break lockdown rules without getting caught and taunting others to do the same. And this behavior is spreading through their massive fan base. To fight that, he has to resort to exposing these TikTokers on the news.
These influencers, they are not followed by mature people. These people are being followed by tremendous middle class people in the nation, in the whole country.
The rural community, they are more vulnerable because they don't have the kind of awareness programs that happen, let's say, in a city.
Because this miscreant behavior is quickly becoming a harmful trend, especially in the rural community, the Mumbai police have to take serious action.
हमें मौत से डर नहीं लगता. अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
On top of arresting these miscreants, the police also forced them to put up a public apology.
तो मैं सॉरी बोलना चाहूँगा मुंबई पुलिस को और मेरे वजह से दूसरे लोग भड़क रहे है ना फहद और मैं दिल से सॉरी बोल रहा हूँ ये मैं जिंदगी में दोबारा नहीं करूँगा.
It's not just in India. The quest to draw attention has given us several disturbing trends. Teenagers twerking to sexually explicit lyrics, a graphic suicide attempt that kept getting re-uploaded by trolls, and even a mounting death toll from dangerous TikTok stunts. Several media outlets have already lambasted TikTok for how questionable content can make it onto the site. BBC even called it the Wild Wild West. But is it true? Is TikTok really a platform where anything goes?
I believe TikTok is the last sunny side of the internet. There is a perception that it's a platform where we don't have strict rules. I feel like that's a misconception. It's kind of uncool to say we're strict. But the fact is, we are strict. We do not allow content that is hateful. We don't want to be a place for distasteful content. We don't want to be a place for activism. That's not what the brand stands for.
TikTok even outrightly bans hashtags like sexy, suicide, or drug-related words. In the second half of 2019 alone, TikTok forcibly removed more than 49 million videos that were in violation of their guidelines. Most of the removed videos were from India, followed by the United States. But that wasn't enough. On 29th of June 2020, India made a decision that crushed the dreams of rural TikTok stars all over the country. India banned TikTok.
और जो भी मैं पैसे टिकटॉक की तरफ से कमाता था
परंतु ते बंद झाल्याच्याने ते पैसे कमी आहे ना आम्हाला वाटलं घर बांधावं आम्ही टीव्ही घ्या हे घ्या अलमारी घ्या फ्रीज घ्या असं वाटलं होतं पण ते बंद झालं त्याच्याने काही आता नुकसान झाली आमची.
What if this ban has nothing to do with protecting Indian citizens from malicious content? What if it's a bigger political move to rid the world of a Chinese-owned app?
आओ इधर ये पेपर थोड़ा उधर कर दो ये मेरे हमेशा हेल्प करता है जहाँ तक कि लोनार एक काफ़ी अच्छी जगह है और यहाँ पे मतलब जितना लोनार फेमस है उतने मतलब यहाँ पे आते नहीं हैं लोग देखने के लिए तो मैं टिकटॉक पे फेमस हो गया था तो मैं चाहता था कि मैं यहाँ पे वीडियोस बनाऊँ और इस जगह को और भी ज़्यादा फेमस कर पाऊँ मतलब मैं यहाँ पे बनाने की बहुत इच्छा थी मेरी पर बनाने से पहले ही अभी टिकटॉक बैन हो चुका है अभी कंप्लीट हो चुका है और ये मैंने साधना में बैठे हुए भगवान शिव की पेंटिंग बनाई है और वो भी मेरी सुने और टिकटॉक वापस आ जाए.
TikTok seems perfect for a time when the internet is finally getting to more remote parts of the world. It is intuitive enough for even the Indian villagers with little digital experience to take to it instantly. But on 29th of June 2020, TikTok was abruptly banned by India, leaving about 1 million Indian influencers in the lurch. Why did this ban happen?
I think it's pretty clear that India banned TikTok because it wanted to find a way to retaliate against China.
China invested in the Sri Lanka port Hambantota and especially establishing the China-Pakistan economic corridor. From there on, I would say India is increasingly suspicious about China's expansion in influence in South Asia.
Wait, how did this get all political? Well, let me invite a political cartoonist to help us illustrate the situation.
India is like the much stronger power, the more dominant power in South Asia. And China being more influential in the region is sort of challenging that notion.
China and India, the two great powers of Asia. They've always been trying to keep each other in check, starting from the border they share. If you're an avid traveler, you might have posted pictures of this picturesque location with breathtaking views of the Himalayas. But you may also remember the heavy border patrols. And in June 2020,
Indian soldiers have been killed in a violent border confrontation with China, and it's the first fatal incident reported in 45 years.
It's perhaps the most serious escalation along the border since the two sides.
Tension has hit one of the worst points for decades between the two most populous countries in Asia.
Of course, it accelerated India administration's suspicion towards the Chinese interest in the country.
India didn't want to escalate militarily against China. It didn't want to stop economic trade entirely, and so it was looking around for other options.
So, just days after the deadly clash, 59 Chinese apps, including TikTok, were banned. And after yet another Indian soldier was killed at the border, India doubled the number of banned Chinese apps to 118.
TikTok is among one of the most popular apps in India, so that automatically make it the most prominent target. I think it is rather like a signal sent towards China that we are conducting an economic retaliation.
India's TikTok ban wasn't all that significant for China. I don't think it would have caused President Xi Jinping much in the way of sleepless nights. The implications of this are that it inspired America to do much the same thing, so India's move was very influential.
The Chinese Communist Party's brutality affects the rest of the world too. We welcome India's ban on certain mobile apps.
Now look, what happened with China with this virus, what they've done to this country and to the entire world is disgraceful. And we are looking at numerous different things. TikTok's one of them, one of many.
TikTok is the first really big Chinese consumer tech company that's built a global brand that has done really well in the US. The China hawks in Washington, which includes President Trump himself, see TikTok as a good way of demonstrating that they're tough on China. And so TikTok has become a political football between the two superpowers in the world.
When do we start seeing that kind of recent spike in interest in VPNs and blocking? Well, especially around...
You might not recognize this office, but these are the guys behind one of the world's most popular VPNs. We turn to VPNs when we are trying to access apps or sites that are blocked in certain countries. And ExpressVPN noticed an unprecedented spike in interest in the service this year.
There have been headlines all around the world talking about potential blocks around TikTok. We could see in the US there was a 10 to 20% increase, and very similar numbers in Japan, a 20% increase when there was a potential ban being discussed. In India as well. In Australia, we actually saw an even larger spike, which was 40% increase when the government was talking about a potential ban in early July. I think it's quite unusual to see a spike this significant, especially like 40%. Definitely what we're seeing is something that we haven't really seen before.
10 years ago, people talked about internet freedom, the open internet, one internet that would unite the world. And now it's clear that we're heading towards a much more divided future. Some people call it a splinter net.
I haven't heard of Facebook. 我没有听说过 Google 和脸书。
哎，小朋友们，你们听说过脸书、Instagram 和 Google 这些东西吗？
没有，好像没有哎。那什么东西啊？
From as far back as 2 decades ago, the world criticized China for restricting what its citizens can access on the internet. Just like how the US tried to ban TikTok, China already banned several internet apps from the West. The result is a version of the internet that is unrecognizable to the rest of the world.
What happened with TikTok in America shows you the power of techno-nationalism when it takes hold. And so I think until America and China find a way of playing nicely with one another, then the internet is going to become more divided.
So, it might just be a mindless modern-day habit to you, but there's so much more behind those millions of inane TikTok videos. From countries sparring to underdogs thriving, nothing is really what it seems.